it could. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started on planning a semester long abroad. This presentation is meant to kind of give you all the background information you need to feel confident that a semester abroad will work in your academic plan and kind of the key steps along the way and a timeline. So we'll start by going over some myths, explaining how studying abroad might be easier than you'd expect, and the types of study abroad programs we offer. We'll also go over academics, how to apply for one of our programs, and finishing up, we'll do finances and funding, acceptance and next steps, and we'll have time for questions if there are any. Okay, here is our professional staff. We have 3 advisors here to answer any of your questions. They're your main student contact. And then those are Taylor, Eden, and Sarah, and you can find them on any of the M-Compass pages and also make an appointment with them through M-Compass. And we'll talk about what M-Compass is in a moment. And then we also have students, our peer advisors that can talk to you about any of the programs we have. They work in our office Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Okay, here are the myths about studying abroad. One is that it's more expensive than studying at the University of Michigan. This is not true. We have 2 types of programs that I'll talk about later. These are exchange programs and fee-based programs. And depending if you're an in-state or an out-of-state student, one option may be actually less expensive for you than the other. You can't take engineering courses you need to go abroad. This is wrong. IPE's programs have courses you need for your engineering degree and are transferable back to University of Michigan. And lastly, all the engineering courses we have are taught in English, so you don't have to worry about knowing a foreign language. The study abroad facts. You can study abroad for a full semester. You just have to finish your first year before you can study abroad. We have over 25 programs that offer English engineering courses in English, and you can take both technical courses you need to graduate and non-technical courses. These links will bring you to our website and our program offerings. And we also have this in-depth timeline to kind of see what points you should be at the different times in the academic year. And we have this kind of basic timeline on this slide. So for a more detailed breakdown, you can click this link on your own time, and then we'll discuss in the presentation those specific benchmarks. But right now, what you should know is that in March, our applications for winter 2027 open. Okay, so as I said, we're going to talk about the difference between an exchange program and a fee-based program. So the exchange programs means you pay U of M tuition and fees. You will pay U of M tuition while you're abroad. So some examples of those programs are Comillas and a Global E3 program. You can find out what type of program it is on M-Compass. That's where we have all the study abroad options listed in the program costs. So this one says U of M tuition, whereas a fee-based program means you pay a fee instead of U of M tuition. So if you're an out-of-state student, these fee-based programs might actually be less expensive. 2 examples of those programs are the Prague Accelerator and the Engineering in London. Okay, to talk about how you can find courses that will work in your academic plan, we have this slide for you. So you can visit our Plan Your International Experience page. You can then select a program. This will take you to the M-Compass brochure, and we'll run through that now. So this is our page where you can find an international experience. I've had winter selected here, and let's just go to National University of Singapore. Now this is M-Compass. Then I'll click the Academics tab, and you'll see this transfer equivalency database. So this has all the courses that's been approved at NUS for credit at Michigan. And you will just have to click, is any here? Okay. So these are the course offerings that you could take at this institution abroad and would transfer back at Michigan. Now, going back to the program brochure, the other link I want to highlight on mCompass is the list of courses, their course catalog. So this is a course where you can find your own courses and then submit them to University of Michigan to be approved for transfer credit. But we also have that link that I showed you first, giving you the information that's the courses that have already been approved. Okay, so that was this first bullet point, just kind of going to mCompass, finding the academics tab, the course catalog of the university, and then the University of Michigan equivalency database. And so that's the equivalency database. They've already been approved. And then course catalog is just all your options at the university. If there's a course that's not already been approved, you can submit a TCAF, that's a transfer credit approval form. But you have to allow 4 to 6 weeks for that to be reviewed. Okay. This is a super helpful document, additionally for planning your academics abroad. It links here, but we have the program and then the degree. So you can look at your major and find where in the world we have courses for you. Some considerations for registration is to get advice from your academic advisor before you select your courses and then check in with them after you have your timetable from that university, just to make sure you're taking courses that will work for you abroad. And be smart. So save your most flexible requirements, such as your tech electives, for a study abroad semester. Additionally, most programs want you to take at least one non-engineering course, so you can save some intellectual breadth credit for that. Once you return, your transcript will be reviewed, and you will receive academic credit if you attained a C grade or higher. And grades from your study abroad are not factored into your Michigan GPA. Okay, now I have just highlighted a couple of our programs and what your timetable could look like if you were to study at any of these. So this is Engineering in Paris. It's a partner program through CEA Kappa. So you can take linear algebra, dynamics and vibrations, and you can see there's kind of a mechanical engineering focus here. Then there's Sogang in South Korea. You can look at the winter programs by major document and see that there are courses here for chemical engineers, data science, computer science, EECS, IOE, and mechanical. So then this kind of sample course is just showing the different courses, not for a specific major, but just in the different departments where there are options. And then lastly, Comillas is an exchange program. So remember what exchange program means. You pay U of M tuition, and they have courses in these various degree programs. And this is a kind of a sample timetable for a mechanical engineer. Okay, the key components of your application. So when you're applying to an IPE program, you'll need a valid passport that will not expire within 6 months of the program end date. So it needs to be valid 6 months after your program end date. We suggest you apply for a passport as soon as possible if you don't have one already. You'll also have the abroad application, which will ask you your goals for the program, previous education abroad experiences, and a few questions relating to disciplinary history and things like that. You'll also provide backpacking information about the courses you plan to take abroad, and you'll be required to meet with a program advisor before your program to ensure you're properly prepared. On M-Compass, you will see this emission selectivity on the left side of the main screen. This will kind of tell you how competitive the program is. So this was taken from a relatively non-competitive program. That kind of just means if you meet all the application requirements or eligibility components, you will likely be accepted. Okay. Costs and funding. So students who receive financial aid currently can receive financial aid towards study abroad. You have to plan a little early. Financial aid can give you a estimate of how much aid you are likely to receive for your study abroad experience. We also have some funding available, such as the College of Engineering Global Fund, which links to that application process. And we have early disbursement. So that means you can receive funds in advance of your financial award package, which kind of just helps things like buying a plane ticket, which has to be kind of planned in advance. We also have paid blogger positions. So you can apply to become a blogger for IPE and you can get paid while abroad because working abroad is not allowed or legal in most countries as a US student. For next steps, so if you're thinking about studying abroad next winter semester, winter 27, we have this checklist for you that'll link to that. And you should also meet with your academic advisor, as I said. We also have some questions for you just to consider about applying to a program. So do you meet that GPA requirements? Do the start and end dates work for your plan, such as if you have a summer internship or have plans to apply for summer internships? When do those start? You'll want to look at the cost breakdown for that program you're considering and work with a financial aid advisor if you are hoping to get aid for that program. There are certain things to find out, such as housing and visa applications. Will have requirements that you'll be required to kind of plan for before your study abroad semester. Okay. After being accepted, so this is way far in the future, you'll have to confirm participation in the program. You should review our registration, participation and withdrawal policy through that link. Might be asked to complete specific tasks based on the program you've applied to. Sometimes it'll require a secondary application directly with the university you've applied to or will be studying at, and the visa application. We provide that checklist again later on, and you'll be added to a Canvas page where you have a orientation process. And then lastly, you'll be required to attend an in-person pre-departure orientation the fall semester before you go abroad in winter. Okay. Lastly, I just want to highlight some resources. If you need to get a passport, we have Passport Photo Fridays. This is from 1:30 to 3:30 in our office in Chrysler. We also have a funding page and funding support for you linked here. Walk-in advising with our peer advisors, those are our students working in the office, are every Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. And if you're just curious and learning more about a program, you can read past participants' blog posts on our website. Explore using our program finder or directly on M-Compass. All those are linked there. Okay. Yeah, if you need to get a passport, these are kind of the next steps. So first get a photo from us, and then you'll have to make an appointment with Washtenaw County Clerks. And finally, to end, we are here to help you strategize and plan your study abroad experience. So we'd love to talk to you. Come into our office, make an appointment with one of those advisors, or come just walk in and talk to a peer advisor. You can follow us on Instagram for updates or sign up for our newsletter. If there are any questions, answer that, but we can go ahead and stop the recording before.